and for you ladies up here, when I called out on Twitter, not only did people mention how inspiring Supergirl is, but they made a point to say how each of these National City ladies are also role models. Now, what quality do you admire most in each of your characters?
Okay, I'll answer that.
I'm watching. I'm seeing the words flying right around Callista, so I'm waiting. Yeah. Great. Go. You go. You know, for me, on a personal note, I have two little girls, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. And right before, taking this job, my husband was really, challenging me in the sense of like, think about what this opportunity is and think about what it means to you. And you look at our little girls, and if you don't have a resounding yes saying, I'm going to be on Supergirl, then you're crazy. And it's true, with our little girls, there's so much on TV that is influential, and especially towards the younger ages. And to think that, I could be a part of something that's telling a very powerful story in many different ways and from many different perspectives, especially from a woman's standpoint, but from a little girl's standpoint. There's something that makes me feel so cool at the end of the day that, my girls are saying, one of them is saying, I'm going to be Supergirl, and the other one's saying, I'm going to be Alex Danvers. Oh, yeah. And then they go into this great epic battle, and, it's usually they're fighting each other, but it doesn't that's not the point. It's being able to tell a really fantastic story, and at the end of the day, and I know Melissa gets it too, but, hearing, wow, I want to be just like that, that's the most rewarding, thing I think.
And that's not just confined to little girls or women. I think the most exciting thing for me, no one asked, but
I actually was about to ask you, so I gotcha.
is that feeling of everyone feeling that strength of Supergirl, regardless of their gender.
Yeah.
What attribute do you admire most in Cat?
I don't even remember the question anymore.
What quality do you admire most in Cat Grant?
I actually, there are a lot of qualities about Kat that I admire. I think that even though she adopts this persona and she has this snarky kind of behavior, and I think that she does that to, she works she's trying to keep a company afloat, and she works with, everybody in her office, by the way, is 25 and under, and they're all supermodels, like that's no joke. So she's alone. She has nobody who is her own age. Just a little note to you, Greg, Allie, I don't know if you can fix that, but
I love Calista.
But to take it, I like that she does this little snarky business to see how people react. She does it to distance herself so she can make people a little afraid of her and to run a business. And all of that is just to entertain herself, really. And I mean, that's my idea. And yet, at the heart of it, she really cares about humanity. She really cares about the people of National City. She really cares about Kara. She has this motherly instinct. She's mentoring Kara in her own way. It's subtle, and but it's
really up to date for it.
It's very, very much there, and she's very much a feminist, and she says a lot of things that are very true. She's giving advice, and then she'll say, "Go get my tuna," but it's all kind of a plan. I don't think it's arbitrary. I don't think it's petty. I don't like it when people say, well, she's so petty. She's like a high school queen bee. And I get offended by that because I don't think that that's accurate. I think it's much deeper than that, and she's too smart for that. But she does have to run a business at the end of the day. And I talked too long. And
No, like,
that was such a good...
I know, I'm thinking, did I say anything about Alex, or was I totally just talking about me?
You guys are actually doing a great job because you're hitting all my other questions along the way. So it's great because, Callista, I was going to say, Ally McBeal was such a touch point of feminism in the 90s. I was going to say, and this is for anyone who wants to take it, how do you feel like Supergirl, or Cat Grant in particular, is really representing what feminism means today?
Well, feminism, I think, means probably something different to everybody. For me, personally, feminism really means choice. And, we're not fighting the battle that our grandmothers fought about the right to vote or the right to go to college or just the idea that we're allowed to. We've passed all that, so there's like 1, 2, 3, and maybe a fourth wave coming on. So I'm not an expert on feminism, but for me, I think that clearly Ally embodies feminism because she's a woman who decided to go to Harvard. She's a woman who decided to be a lawyer. She was sexually harassed in her office and she decided to quit and move on. She didn't tolerate it. She didn't put up with it. And then her personal life was a complete mess. She wanted to be rescued. She wanted to fall in love. And that's all valid. And then Kat decided to be a media mogul, and she went for it, and she made a lot of sacrifices along the way. And she's at a different stage in her life than Ally, and she is a person who has a lot of regrets. And so the question that I find when I'm acting these parts is, can women have it all? And at what price? And do we want to have it all? And so that's all kind of in there, but that's just from an acting point of view. Well, silence the house.
Well, Ally and Greg, Avery in the Open on Twitter had a really interesting question, and she said, I'd love to know if Supergirl plans on introducing any LGBT characters or establish an existing character as LGBT.
There's no immediate plans to do that right now, but I know. Jeremy is always campaigning for this. You're not gay. Your character's not gay. He actually wrote me about this morning.
We were at a family equality event last night, and I was like, "We should be gay. It'd be fun."
I mean, I think these shows work best when they really reflect our entire society. Yeah. And so, in Success, you always want to keep adding to the characters and to the cast, and adding people that everybody, so that everybody can watch the show and see some piece of themselves. I think the thing that's really always rewarding, though, is when people watch the show and see some piece of themselves in a character that they wouldn't think that they would have that much in common with. One of the more rewarding letters that we've received was from a mom who said this was the first show that she didn't have to that she watched on her own, and her son slowly kind of gravitated into the room to watch it with her. And rather than her trying to kind of get in on what was cool with him, he realized that his mom was cool too. Something that they could watch together. And I think it's nice when people are surprised by the shows too.